Hello and welcome to Wait for Real.
A true crime and paranormal podcast. I'm Grace.
And I'm Katie.
And there's Archie.
Yep, he's thinking about choosing violence.
I saw him do his little tail go across the
Yeah.
screen. Oh, I know. You can probably hear it. Usually it doesn't get caught in the video, I don't think, or in the audio of the podcast, but Pancake is squeaking for attention in the bedroom right
Yeah.
now. I don't know where Peaches is, which makes me nervous.
She'll make an appearance as she does right in the middle of the episode, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's been a wild weekend for them because I got my AC replaced this weekend.
Yes.
Finally. Yeah, there's black specks though coming out of the air duct, so I don't know if I'm being poisoned or what's going on here,
I
but
think you are.
that's a bummer. Well, it's nice knowing you guys.
Yeah.
So I had to lock Pancake in the bathroom for 5 hours, and then Peaches had free reign of the house because she's way more open to talking to people and stuff.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's the black specks.
It really, it's bad.
Yeah.
So, anyways, Peaches was living her best fucking life. Literally, the two AC techs were one was always sitting in my closet because that's where the air duct is, and that's where they were replacing parts. And she would come in and just lay on her back and be like, "Are you gonna pet my stomach, or are we just gonna sit here and be weird?" And then the guy that was outside working on the AC unit would come inside, and she would be sitting at the door waiting for him.
Oh my gosh.
What a ham.
Peaches. Yes, she's the biggest ham. She's like, now's my time to shine.
Yeah, but since they messed with everything, my allergies have been insane, which makes sense because they took out the old and the gross and they put in something new. But, once you fucked with it, you got to push through all of that gunk that was probably jostled and things like that. So
yeah,
I've had a horribly stuffy nose for the past 24 hours and have been sneezing nonstop. So after the episode, I'm going to do a deep clean of my house and, okay. A deep clean of some areas, primary areas.
Deep clean. Yeah, selective deep clean.
Yeah, I'm going to clean some things and see how far I get,
Okay. Yeah.
Probably not too far though. So yeah, that is updates with me. But also, have you followed the Karen Reed case?
Yeah, so I followed it the first time. I mean, I know that she was found not guilty.
I don't know anything about this case.
No, you have to go deep dive into the case before you make an opinion on it. That I can guarantee.
Oh, exactly.
Because until you know about it, it's insane.
It was brought up yesterday when I was out with some people, and they were like, "Oh yeah, this is crazy, blah blah blah. You guys need to cover it on your podcast." And I was like, "Well, I don't know," but I did say that. So there's a podcast called The Prosecutors. Have you ever listened to them?
No.
Supposedly they do a fantastic job of going through this case. So I think I'm going to listen to that this week and just get the tea, and then make some assumptions and or opinions. But
yeah, let me know what you think. My mom and I watched a docuseries on it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think she's guilty.
Interesting. Okay. I literally know the bare minimum, so I'm like, oh.
Yeah. But I will tell you my opinion changed every episode.
Oh shit. Oh, I saw Archie leave.
Yeah, he was trying to eat the cord. It was not going well.
He left stage left.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else you want to banter about before we start?
I have something else from True Crime News that I haven't deep dived into yet, but I can't believe it. Wait, okay, I can't believe I didn't know about this, but then this will tie into a text I sent you yesterday. So there are two kids that have been missing for over a month and a half in Nova Scotia outside of Halifax, and there's it's a really big deal. The parents apparently waited to report them missing, and the RCMP they were able to pull all this footage from neighbors to disprove their story, but they still haven't been able to find them. They're in a really seems like a rural area, and they said that they were sleeping and that they heard the kids go to play outside, and then they woke up and they were gone. But it's just truly
what
insane.
Text was that you sent me?
Oh, that I said that in Canada you can't see news on social media.
She's here.
Peaches. She's made her appearance.
Snow, you can sit right here She's sitting on my lap. Let me
I
show
see
you
her
guys.
ear. Beach a weech. She can't hear me. I always do that. Yeah, it's the little purr.
She's the star of the show, actually. I should just
She
talk
is.
like this. You just see my
This
boobs
is
and then my cat.
honestly people. Yeah, I was like, people would love that. Archie, get over here.
Can
You can see his tail.
you imagine it's
You
just
can see
us
his butt.
podcasting? It's just the cats, though.
Yeah, that's what we should do. I don't think he'd sit for a whole episode. Peaches probably would.
No. Look at her little fucked up ear.
I know.
She's a good girl. All right, back to
She
me.
is.
Oh God.
She's like, really?
Oh. Okay, so they're still missing,
Yes, but what I was saying was you can't see news on social media in Canada.
which doesn't make. I don't understand how that works.
I don't know. It just is. I mean, I can allegedly still see it because I still have my US number, but I,
Hey,
once it like knows that I'm in Canada, I think it'll block me from seeing the news, which is crazy.
that's insane.
Like if you click on like a news like thing, like Instagram even, it'll say Canadian accounts can't view this. It'll like block you from seeing the whole thing.
That
So you
so
can't
they're
even
just
message it.
so they're like literally what are they? What's it censoring?
Yeah, well, the US president is
A
controlling the
butthead?
media. Yeah, I was like, I so I just think that they're trying to keep it separate from social media. I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's right. I'm just like, I have no idea the purpose.
Look at Peaches.
She is the
I'm
star.
s- I'm
If you
scratching her
guys,
butt.
yeah, I was like, she's getting her butt scratched right now. If you're like, what is happening to her? And if you can't see,
You should get
then,
onto our YouTube
then you
just to
should
see this.
go. Yeah, you should go. Maybe we'll post like a clip of just Peaches.
You good?
She's living her best life. She's in another dimension.
She really is. Oh my gosh. I love her. Okay. Are we ready for today's episode?
Yes, we're ready.
Oh, I was gonna put the duck on her head.
She's
She
like,
didn't
no,
like
no,
it.
no.
So I wanted to cover something that I'm pretty sure most people know about, but I was like, I never really looked into the actual like case itself.
It's a
And
disappearance.
yes.
Okay.
So some background on why I chose this too though is that I when I'm looking at like unsolved mysteries, I think it's hard because some of them have like usually we'd focus on ones that are true crime based, but at the same
Hmm.
time, like there's murder and things, but some of them are just like unsolved mysteries of like a robbery or
Yep.
unsolved mysteries of like somebody goes missing and then reappears 10 years later and they think that they time traveled, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So this is one of those situations.
Okay.
But this all started on November 24th, 1971, which was the day before Thanksgiving. And a man calling himself Dan Cooper walked into a Portland International Airport. He
Okay.
bought a one-way ticket to Seattle for $20. He paid in cash, and no one ever saw him again after this day.
Is this DB Cooper?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just about to say, this is the story of DB Cooper, the only
Yep.
unsolved skyjacking story in U.S. history.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you know of this case?
A lot.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. But I think that I've always thought, well, I knew we'd eventually cover it, but I always knew that you would be fascinated by it.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
wild.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm just going to be like spitting facts as we go through this case. So,
Okay.
one, the ticket was for an airline called Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305. Now, my cat is chewing on the cords.
Great.
Um, and the reason why he is known as DB Cooper is because a news outlet accidentally said that instead of Dan Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, you're going to know all of my fun facts.
Okay,
Poop.
I can pretend like I don't.
No, I want to know what you know because now I'm like, oh
Okay.
my god, this is
No, I got really
crazy.
like into this
Really?
a while ago. Yeah, there was this like I feel horrible because I can't remember the name of the show, but um it's Shane and Ryan, they're really well known. They used to work at BuzzFeed. They have a paranormal show now that's really
Oh, yeah.
popular. They
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
do
yeah.
like a true crime series on YouTube too, and they covered this, and it was like so short. It was like 20 minutes, but I got really invested and then really invested in all the people that have claimed to be, I'm sure you'll cover that, like that claim to be him.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Well, okay,
Yeah.
as I'm going through this, I want you to tell me if there's something you didn't know.
Okay.
That's like my new fun game.
Okay.
So, okay, so it's 2 o'clock in Portland, Oregon. Dan Cooper is dressed in a business suit, a trench coat, and wearing dark sunglasses. They're saying that he was probably in his mid 40s, and he was carrying a black attache case, essentially like briefcase esque slash backpack thing, mabob.
Yeah.
So the flight takes off shortly, like after 3 o'clock, and Cooper, first of all, buys a cocktail, has a drink, pays for it. And back in this time, you would like tip your air, like your stewardesses and stuff. So he
Hmm.
was tipping them. He was being generous. He was being cool. He was sitting in seat. Hold on, my cat is in the motherfucking
I
way.
see your tail.
I fear for my
Uh,
life. Oh my God. I thought she was going to break everything.
take everything
Um,
down.
so DB Cooper was sitting in seat 18E.
Hmm.
So this is in the rear of a Boeing 727-100. And it's near the aft stairs, which might be like partially planned for his escape purposes, etc. And the 727 was the only one of like the only few commercial airplanes or aircraft that allowed stair deployment mid-flight. So that's going
What?
to be important. Yeah, that's something important that comes up later on.
Okay, was this just like a fluke? Do you know?
No, so there's belief that Cooper knew this.
No, no, I meant like the way that the plane was designed, was that intentional that it could be deployed midair, or was it like some
Yes.
kind of design fluke that happened?
No,
Okay.
it was intentional.
Okay.
So after, having his cocktail, doing his thing, basically he passes a note to one of the flight attendants. And the flight attendant is thinking he's flirting. So she's like, ah, ha, 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 and like puts it in her pocket, right? And he like leans in and whispers to her, Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb. So then she's like, WTF? And she looks over at his like bag, and he had clearly like shown that he had a bomb in it. So it had like
Right.
red, she could see like red sticks, wires, and a battery. So the note itself demands a couple of things. One, $200,000 in cash. So that equates to today about $1.5 million.
Wow.
4 parachutes, 2 main parachutes, 2 reserve, a fueled truck ready in Seattle for refueling, like a fuel truck. I
Yeah.
said fueled. I think I said that wrong. You know what I mean? Mwah.
Hmm.
So at this point, the plane lands in Seattle. It's approximately 5:45 p.m. He's holding everybody hostage, like this
Right.
whole entire time. He has run the show. And the FBI delivers the cash and the parachutes to the plane.
Hmm.
After he takes the time to like literally he sits there and checks every clip, every piece of fabric, he counts the money, he ensures that everything is legitimate, then he releases the 36 passengers that were on the plane with him. So there was 37 passengers on board, which includes him, and then
Right.
you also have to think about the crew. So the crew, I think there were 6 of them. Let me confirm that he ended up let me see. We're going to go with that. I'll
Okay.
try my best. So he gets all the stuff. He releases the passengers, and then he says, "Okay, let's take off again." I don't know how this happened in the 70s. They just were like, "Okay, let's go." Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. None of this shit
Wild
makes
times,
sense to
different
me,
times.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after they take off again, he demands to be flown to Mexico City.
Hmm.
But he has some instructions for them. The instructions are: 1, the plane must fly under 10,000 feet. The plane must fly with the landing gear down in a down position the entire time. They must fly at a slow speed. and the rear exit door, which was close to where his seat was, must remain unlocked.
Yep.
So, approximately around like 8-ish p.m., 8:15, whatever, somewhere over Washington state, he decides it's time to go. So they are flying through a rainstorm, right, in the dense forest of southwestern Washington. So this is near like Mount St. Helens and like all
Okay.
that stuff. Um, is it Mount St. Helens? Is that the right? What's that? What's the mountain that's out there?
That is right.
Is it? Okay. Yeah, Mount St. Helens. Oh my God, look at her,
A queen.
a queen of the Google. So again, remember it's cold, it's rainy, terrible weather.
Right.
When he jumps, he's just like, bitch, bye. He
Yeah.
goes, and they're like, okay, we dodged a bullet,
Yeah.
literally and
They're free.
figuratively, they're free.
Yeah.
So some problems in like the context, if you're thinking about like the jump zone itself, again, this is a problem that he probably had to face, right?
Right.
No lighting. He didn't have a flashlight. He didn't have any type of lighting source that was going to help him have visibility as he's trying to land the parachute. Poor visibility in general. The wind and the rain was making it nearly impossible for you to have any type of steering capabilities with your parachute. And he also was jumping over a spot where like the terrain was extremely rough. Now my cat's playing with a bag.
Great.
Love this day for me. Um, and theories behind what happened as a result of that jump is one, he didn't survive. Uh, because no remains were ever found, but the terrain is so vast and it's wild that it couldn't really be surprising that they never found him. Because again, given the time, the resources, things like that, some believe that there was a secret team waiting for him to pick him up via helicopter or truck, and so that would be like an extraction.
Hmm.
And other people believe that he knew the land. He may have picked a familiar drop zone area, possibly like making him former military or special ops. So, with I forgot to say some other things about was specific with his demands. Grace, get it together. Okay. So, again, he wanted the 4 parachutes, the 2 main to rescue, or the
Hmm.
backups. Basically, this is a very tactical move that you're going to see in the military because it ensures that one, you have other options, and two, he did this on purpose because he wanted to ensure that they wouldn't sabotage the equipment, because the reason why that he asked for 2 or 4 total is because he
So we
wanted the
could take
potential to take a
someone.
hostage.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is so smart.
Yeah.
Like, bro
No,
was
this was a
smart.
very thought out plan, and that's why he has never been caught.
He wanted unmarked $20 bills because it's easier
Okay.
to launder them. He refused the military grade parachutes. He wanted civilian style skydiving chutes.
Okay.
Um, and whenever he told the plane to be at a slow speed, it had to be under 200 knots, which is like ideal for parachuting like
Okay.
scenarios.
Yeah.
Um, which is like I said, pretty smart. But so let's talk about evidence and what they had. So, sitting on the seat of Flight 18E, again, this is where he was sitting, was a black JCPenney clip on tie. There were cigarette butts found, but those were discarded before DNA testing sort of became available, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate. And from the tie, the cigarette butts, and everything, they found 66 unidentified fingerprints.
Okay.
Yeah. And this has been something that, like, up until 2016, the FBI was constantly investigating this in some way, shape, or form. Because,
Hmm.
like, I mean, I get it. Like, you don't have an answer, that would piss me off, especially if that was your
Yeah.
job. But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
So let's talk money trail. Uh, the FBI recorded all of the serial numbers on the bills that were given to him because, duh.
Yeah.
And then in 1980, an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram found $5,800 in 3 bundles on Tina Bar, a sandy area along the Columbia River, about 20 miles from the jump zone.
Okay.
The bills were buried in deteriorating condition. There was no explanation to how they got there. because again, this area was outside of the estimated flight path that they had taken.
Right.
And some theorized that the bundles had floated downriver or they were deliberately planted. Regardless, that money, all the serial numbers were exact to the money that was taken by DB Cooper.
Okay.
And aside from those bills, not a single dollar has ever surfaced in circulation, which is
Okay.
wild. Again, there's theories that like, well, maybe they didn't see it was circulating, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You know, like it was
Yeah.
never given to a bank again, I guess I should say. So, let's talk about a discovery that the FBI had in 2007. So, they recovered particles from the tie, and it was titanium and rare earth elements like cerium and strontium sulfate. These are usually found in like high tech or aerospace facilities. So this suggests that Cooper may have worked in chemical engineering, metallurgy, or even like aircraft manufacturing. And the reason why I'm like familiar of those is because my last job, I worked with a materials engineering team,
Mm-hmm.
and they had to do a ton of trainings on metallurgy and all these things. And so you really get to know the rare elements and also how rare it is that somebody can find them outside of a job.
Okay.
So, what else do we have here for my notes? Cause it's all over the place. You're like, Grace, what a surprise.
No,
Who
it's
would have
going great.
fucking thought? Okay, let's talk about some notable suspects
Okay.
and why they don't actually fit the bill. Because again, if you haven't figured this out, guys, it's an unsolved mystery.
Yeah.
We don't know who it is. What if I just like do a whole episode like plot twist? We know the answer is this person.
Yes.
First one is going to be Richard Floyd McCoy.
Okay.
So Richard had hijacked a plane previously. I guess technically the year later, the exact same way to an extent. So he used a parachute. He had a grenade. He demanded $500,000. He was an Army veteran and an avid skydiver. Excuse me. But he was caught and killed in a shootout during that hijacking of that plane.
Right.
So we
Okay.
don't really know if it wasn't him, but the reasons why we don't think it is because he didn't fit the physical description. And they said that there was confirmation that he had an alibi and he was in Utah at the time of Cooper's jump.
Okay.
Next is going to be Robert Rackstraw. So, Robert was a Vietnam veteran. He was a helicopter pilot and an explosives expert, and he did forged documentation. He had training that could explain the parachuting and the ability to understand the aircraft. And he really made cryptic remarks implying that he was Cooper, which we've known since every episode we've ever done is that people really do love to claim things that weren't theirs
Yeah.
when it comes to murders,
Crimes in general. Yeah.
crimes. Yeah.
All the
So,
things.
excuse me. I'm trying to find my water bottle. I don't know where I put it.
Is it behind you?
No, you scared
Okay.
me. I was like, what's behind me? I don't know where it is. Oh, well. So, reasons why it was probably not him is that because evidence was mostly circumstantial with him, they never really got a clear picture of what could have been him leading to it. And they
Yeah.
investigated him, and the FBI was like, nah, that ain't it. I don't know much more, but they were like, that ain't him.
Okay.
Next is going to be Kenneth Christensen. So, Kenneth was a former Northwest Orient employee. Okay, so he knew the airline. He was an Army paratrooper. He was a very quiet man with a sudden spike in wealth post 1971. And he lived modestly, but left behind a lot of cash.
Mm-hmm.
Why is he not DB Cooper? Well, one, he didn't fully match the description. He was very short. He was balding. He didn't present that he would look like the DB Cooper in any of the retellings that people had. And also, there was no direct evidence linked to him, so the cash that he left behind was not the same serial numbers as the money that DB Cooper stole.
Right.
So, couple of things that the FBI wanted to do is create a profile on DB Cooper and try to get an understanding of who this guy probably was. So again, we said that he was probably in his 40s based on the maturity and demeanor of him, and they had, multiple people assess the storyline and all these things and understood that he's probably in his 40s. Possibly ex-military due to
Hmm.
his knowledge of aircraft and parachutes. He was highly intelligent and composed. Like, dude was chill as hell the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
friendly as crap to the flight attendants, was tipping them, bought a drink, had a beveragino before he decided to, hijack a plane. Um, and they said that he likely had no intention of hurting anyone. His
Yeah.
hijacking was just a business transaction, and that was the
Yeah.
best way to get done. And I don't know if I believe this one as much, but basically they said that he was a loner or someone who had nothing left to lose. Um, Meh,
Maybe, but that seems like a stretch,
that's what
to
I'm
be
saying.
like,
So,
okay.
a couple of things that are still unexplained with this scenario is one, why did the cash never reappear?
Hmm.
So, did he bury it and then he died? Did he stash it somewhere? Like, what if it just like reappears like next week? Like, you know what I mean? Like, somebody just starts using the cash. They're like, "Where did you get it?" And you're like, "Oh, I got it from the ATM." And then it's like, "What?"
Okay. So it's unlikely that, or they think it's unlikely that he washed and reprinted the money, but it is possible. He could have also he could have laundered the money. But wait, did you find something? Because I found something.
No, go for it.
Okay, so it says in 2008, FBI agent Larry Carr did a radio interview with Stephen Reinhart, and Carr admits that most banks and casinos, so all banks and casinos were given the list, and it was 10,000 numbers, and it ran, they were non-sequential, and it was 32 pages long, and within 6 months, all casinos and basically almost all banks had stopped looking at the list.
Okay, yeah. So I did have a note about that, but I didn't have the name of the guy. But
Which, like, is
mm,
fair because 32, and a lot of people say, like, the easiest way for him to get different bills would be to go to a casino.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
If you were playing the long game, now I'm talking about my theory on how I could launder money.
Hmm.
Um,
Allegedly.
allegedly launder it. Allegedly.
The FBI told
So,
him, I'm not going to go there.
I think it would be one that like I would take it and like car washes and laundromats where you have to like change your bills into coins.
Hmm.
I would change all of my bills into coins and then take those
Jesus
coins,
Christ.
then go to the bank and make them like rolls into cash.
Yeah.
Is that money laundering?
I was
Am
like,
I
I
a
guess.
criminal?
That would take forever. That's like serious dedication.
I mean, I feel like at this point you got to be pretty dedicated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I mean, they'd also probably catch you immediately because they'd have cameras. So once like the bills, go into the bank, they'd be like, this bitch has been at the car wash way too many
you're
times.
like, this girl is so busy at the car wash. She's
Yeah.
actually just has 50 cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. But I mean, we basically just covered everything for this case. But I do want to say that like the FBI closed this case in 2016,
Oh, I didn't know
citing a
that.
lack of new leads. But online sleuths, amateur investigators, and AKA us, are still chasing new theories. And then every few years, the FBI will still receive like a new lead from people. So
Yeah.
this is something like a confession from another criminal, a theory, or a family member with a box of suspicious memorabilia. But nothing really has ever been a definitive like evidence for the case. And if you look, like FBI does still have a website page dedicated to DB Cooper. That's actually where
Hmm.
I pulled some pictures that I'm going to end up putting on our Instagram because it's like really interesting to see like the dollar or the $5 bills or oh my gosh, the $20 bills that are like completely like deteriorated that kid found.
Yeah.
Uh, because I was like, oh shit, he found some money. I would have kept that shit. No, it was like completely jacked up. You couldn't use it. So
Yeah.
okay, so was any of that surprising to you or no?
No.
Ah, damn it.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I probably should have asked you if I should cover this or not.
No, this is such a good thing. Are you going to talk about the people that have are confessed?
Oh no, I wasn't going to, but do you want to pull them up?
Okay. So just like the general list. So Richard McCoy, who you already mentioned and was killed in the shootout, his family claims that he was DB Cooper.
It's like
Dwayne
not a
L.
good thing
Weber.
to like
I know,
claim,
to be
but
like it was. it was this guy.
Yeah.
So Weber reportedly confessed to his wife before his death in 1995.
Mm.
So a lot of deathbeds. Robert Rackstraw, who
Yeah. I had that one.
you mentioned, yeah, so just said that he had frequently like hinted at it. Um, and then Bryant Jack Kofelt claimed that he was DB Cooper. He landed near Mount Hood and lost the money.
Can you imagine you do all that work and
Leslie,
you lose it?
yeah, then you admit to it. What the hell? And then Leslie Norman Bradley. Bradley was a former gun runner and CIA pilot. Was suggested by some to be DB Cooper based on his background and appearance.
Okay.
And Richard Lapointe was a copycat hijacker who jumped from 720 from a 727 in freezing conditions. Um, yeah, so nobody knows, but lots of people have claimed, especially on their deathbed,
I want to
to
know who it
be
is.
DB
I'd claim it
Cooper.
if I was on my deathbed. I'd be like, oh, yeah, guys, I'm DB Cooper.
Yeah, all right. Think about who you're gonna claim on your deathbed then. It can't
Add
be
that to my
DB Cooper,
list.
unfortunately. Yeah.
No, I don't think I've met the description.
You weren't alive in 1971.
Shh. You don't know how
Or
old I
were
am.
you? Yes, I
Da, 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 da.
do. Um,
Uh, yeah.
yeah, what do you think happened to him? Like, what do you think happened
I
after he
think he
jumped?
survived. I think he
Well, I think
survived.
if he died, they would have found him, right? Well, maybe
Yeah, but it
not.
was
Or
also
found
like, this was like the depths of the forest, you know? Like,
you don't think that did they even try to look?
they
They
did,
would
but
have
I don't
at
think.
least found
I
the
mean,
parachute.
well, so they did find one of the parachutes.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
where?
I don't know. That just says the FBI collected one of the parachutes.
Let's
I don't
see.
know. I'll put a picture of it, but
Okay, so they know
unless
he
the FBI
landed
lied to
somewhere.
me. Well, they're saying that it was the parachute that wasn't used. So, because he jumped with both still.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So like it still had so you think that he dropped it or you think
I'm thinking he dropped it.
okay.
Like, as he jumped out of the plane, he was like, oh, I don't need this other parachute. Bye, bitch. Like, threw it.
Yeah, that's true. Unless like I mean, yeah,
I
just
don't know.
hoping that the other two would work, I guess.
Well, yeah, because you can only really wear one that has the reserve, the backup on it. So,
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he survived. I think that he was able. I mean, it was again, it's the 1970s. Like, their version of tracking serial numbers was probably not like well done. And I bet he just coasted on that money. He was a freaking rich as shit when he was there.
Have you seen Rob Rackstraw before?
No, why?
Look up a picture of him. He kind of looks like DB Cooper.
Wait, Rackstraw?
Was that the wrong person?
Because there's a voice artist.
Oh, is that who it is? That's funny. I'm like, wow, you are you? He's DB Cooper now.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think any of the people they believe is him is him.
Well, yeah.
I think that he went on to live a life and we never heard from him again and he died and that's it. What do
I
you
mean,
think?
there's so many things. I mean, I think he had to have survived, which is also insane. And I think that he did extensive planning for this, right? I think he had to have jumped in these conditions before over an area like maybe that exact area,
Right.
before doing it. But why the fueled truck in Seattle? Why did he want that?
Fuel truck. Fuel truck to refill the plane.
Fuel truck. I thought you said
Yeah.
fueled
I
truck
did
like
the
a
first time and then I corrected myself.
okay. I was like, why? Like maybe then someone met
I was so
him in
worried I fucked that
midair.
up too. I was like, oh no, I meant fuel truck. Sorry, guys.
My
This
brain
is
heard fueled
the
truck and I was like, got it. Come back to that later.
Jesus Christ, the cat's here again.
Peaches.
Hello, can I help you?
Archie's sleeping. See if you can see him.
Oh, the baby. Don't put your butthole on TV.
No
Well,
buttholes for free.
No bottles for free.
Hi, Eddie.
Oh,
Oh, that's good
this
boy.
is a cat podcast today, baby.
That's right.
The
The
babies.
cats.
She's so bad at like sitting down on my lap. Like she has to move around 40 times first.
I love
And
that.
then she like sits down and then she's like, no, that ain't it. She gets back up and reassesses.
Reposition. Hey, buddy.
Yeah. So,
No.
anyways, this is probably something that a lot of you have probably heard of, but now you get our take on it. You're welcome. Don't bite me.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way it can ever be solved since they don't have any scrap of
No.
evidence.
But I was like, it's a little lighthearted because it's not as sad. Like, there's no murder. Thank God.
Yeah, but then what about the money that washed up? You think he just dropped it or what? Because what is $5,000 equivalent to today? A lot.
A lot. But I wonder if it was a drop situation. I don't
Like he
know.
just dropped it or he meant to
What do you
drop
think he
it
meant to
or
drop it?
I think he
I bet
meant
he
to
was
drop
smart
it.
enough and he was like, I'm
Well,
gonna
that's what
leave.
I'm saying. This whole thing was so planned out,
So smart.
and I don't think he had an actual bomb
No, I don't either.
or like not a functioning one. Like maybe it was the right materials, but
Yeah,
I
like he
don't
just put it all in a bag
think
and like
he
taped
was
it
right.
together.
Just made it
Yeah.
look like it, but I don't think he ever planned on like the FBI. Like I don't think he ever planned on detonating it, and I don't think how can you have a bomb and then jump out with it? You know what I mean? And hope that it won't detonate.
Yeah. Sorry, Peaches is being cute.
I love that.
Yeah. So, anyways, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. If you liked the story or you hated it, you could always go listen to another episode. But
Mhm.
we really would love feedback. Positive feedback only, though. So if you want to give us stars on Spotify or leave a review on Apple Podcasts, we would really appreciate it. If you want to support us on social media, like find our links and things like that, we have our Instagram is at waitforrealpod, Pod. Our email is waitforrealpod@gmail.com. And we also have a way for you to communicate with us by sending us a text. It's in our show notes of this episode. And what else? If you want to support us financially, because we broke bitches, we have a link in our show notes for buying us up a cup of coffee.
Yep.
We're gonna save all that money and just take some time to travel and see the world. That's the point with all that, right? Do we have to pay taxes on that money? We should look
All
into
right.
that.
I'm sure the website takes care of that, Grace.
Anyways, am I forgetting anything else?
Just admitting to alleged crimes over here. Like, follow us on, subscribe, whatever, on YouTube.
Yes,
Um,
you can see our cats.
mhm. If you want to send us stories, you can send them to our email, our Instagrams, wherever you can find us. You could
Yeah.
text it to us, whatever, we'll find it.
You can send us a letter. Just kidding, you don't have our
Carrier
address. Or
pigeon?
do
Yeah.
you?
Oh no. I hope not. All right, well,
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Okay, we will leave it as always.
Go to therapy.
And don't forget to leave the lights on.